Good afternoon, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you're innocent to these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this afternoon. That is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit of the warrant which led to your arrest. We'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And I need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Do y'all solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Jasmine Cowens. Afternoon, young lady. What's your date of birth?
1496.
Jasmine, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for one count of grand theft auto. As to that charge, if you wish to represent yourself, you're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Yes.
I'll appoint the PD, Steve.
Your Honor, she has a history out of Ohio from October of 2018 that looks like there was a disorderly conduct, and another one December 29th of 2018.
And Jasmine, I have an address for you on Ripple Grove Drive in Cincinnati, Ohio. Is that where you live?
Yep.
What brought you to Hernando County?
Went to Clearwater for vacation.
Okay. Never got home. All right. Going to leave the bond for the warrant, which is the $2,000. I'll have you back in court on this charge on the 23rd of July. Very important that if you do get out, that you contact the public defender, okay? Toner signed the warrant. It's not, no, he just is a duty warrant. Yeah. He's good. She's good. Thank you. Samantha Malico. Afternoon, Samantha. What's your date of birth?
12980.
Samantha, I have a warrant for you out of Lake County. The judge that signed the warrant found probable cause for one count of ag assault, 2 counts of fleeing to elude, and 1 count of driving on a suspended license. Set your bonds at $2,000, $10,000, $10,000, and $1,000 respectively for a total of $23,000. If you have that money, you could bond out of here and go to Tavares and find out when they want you back in court. If you're unable to bond out, we'll let them know that you're here and ready to go. They'll give the folks in Lake County 5 days to come pick you up. If for some strange reason you are still here in 5 days, they bring you back to see me and find out what the problem is, all right? Thank you. Amanda McNulty. Afternoon, Amanda. What's your date of birth?
5381.
Amanda, 2 charges today, trespass and resisting without violence. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, would you like to represent yourself? You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
The PD.
Pardon me?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
Your Honor, there's a 2009 failure to appear, 2008 DUI, 2008 fraudulent check, and then there's a federal case from 2008 for theft of mail.
Amanda, I have an address for you on Garson Loop in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
8 months this time.
Okay. And do you have a job these days?
No, I'm going to trial for SSI.
Okay. So, Amanda, I'm going to set your bond at $500 on each count. I'll just remind you that it appears that you've been trespassed from that address on Lackland Avenue, so don't go back there. If you do, you'll wind up getting more charges. You'll be back in court on these on the 17th of July. If you get out, it's very important that you contact the Public Defender's Office right away, okay? Timothy Armstrong. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
November 4th, 1983.
Timmy, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge McCatherine back in June of 15. It's a violation of probation warrant. Where did you come?
Rick is 30, Judge. He has
Yeah.
4 days in.
Well, I was going to ask, was he doing time? Were you doing any time in Pinellas County, Tim, or they just picked you up down there?
They just picked me up.
Okay. When did you get arrested in Pinellas?
Saturday evening.
That makes it 5. Right?
He had 2
7.
priors.
And 2 prior, so
2
7.
prior.
All right. So, Tim, the recommendation for probation is 30 days. If you want to accept that today, you can. I would revoke and terminate the probation, sentence you to the 30 days. I give you credit for 7. That means you'd have in the neighborhood of 18 left to do. If you'd rather have a chance to talk to a lawyer first, I can do that. I can appoint a lawyer to represent you, and then you'll be back in court 21 days from now. But that's your choice. You want to take the 30 now, or would you like to speak to an attorney first?
I'll take the 30 now.
You understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, a right to have a lawyer, but you want to give up your rights so that we can resolve this case today?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it's just for this case, Tim, just to resolve this case. In case
Yeah.
number 14MM1129, then, do you admit that you violated your probation?
Yes.
I'll accept the admission, find it was freely and voluntarily made, revoke and terminate the probation unsuccessfully, adjudicate you guilty of the underlying charge. I'll sentence you to 30 days in the county jail, credit for 7 days served. There'll be $100 for the state and your cost of incarceration, but that takes care of it, Tim. Case is done. You just need to finish the time, all right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Brian Brooks. Started me. Morning, Mr. Brooks. What's your date of birth?
January 17, 2002.
Mr. Brooks, you're in a warrant signed by Judge Heineman. He found probable cause for 3 charges: burglary to an occupied structure, grand theft, and traveling across county lines to commit burglary. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Yes, sir, public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, Steve.
Your Honor, his
Yes,
charges
sir.
are all juvenile. He has a 2018 carrying concealed firearm for which he was adjudicated delinquent. It's quite a history, so it takes me a minute to get through everything.
Okay.
Looks like there was a failure to appear in 2017 at a court hearing. Another failure to appear in 2016. There was, in 2015, obstruction, carrying concealed firearm, for which he was adjudicated delinquent. In 2015, there was also a robbery by sudden snatching, for which there was a withhold adjudication in that case. Petty theft from 2016. A burglary from 2015. the rest of the charges are either dismissed or.
All right, so, young man, I have an address for you on Palm Park Court in Tampa. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
About 2 years.
All right. You still in school?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Set the bond on the burglary at $10,000, on the grand theft at $2,000, and on the traveling at $10,000. That's a total of $22,000. These charges are coming back July 23rd. If you're able to get out, you should contact the PD. If you can't get out, they're going to come see you at the jail. All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Samuel Caesar. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
2/16/78.
All right, sir, I have a warrant actually signed by Judge Scaglione. He found probable cause for one count of fleeing to elude. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender,
I'll
please.
appoint the PD. State.
Yes, Your Honor, this is another one that's a little difficult to get through, but in 2016 it was a tampering with a witness and a battery. In 2013, looks like we had a failure to appear. 2010, another failure to appear. In 2010, there was a possession of marijuana, and I believe, in 2007, there was a FTA, 2007 violation of probation. In 2006, the possession of cocaine, possession of marijuana. 2006, same one. 2004, possession of cocaine and a sale of cocaine or possession with intent, one of the two. 2004, another possession of cocaine. 2003, possession of marijuana. 2000, there was grand theft of a motor vehicle. And then in 1999, there was possession of marijuana.
Sam, I got an address for you on Jarvis Street in Lacucci. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
Basically my whole life.
You got a job these days?
I just recently got fired. I was employed the last 5 years of my life, though.
What were you doing?
I was assistant manager at the Lacucci grain elevator for Calmaine Foods.
Okay. All right, Sam, we're going to set your bond at $10,000, so I'll have you back in court on July 23rd. If you get out, it's very important that you contact the PD, otherwise they're going to come see you at the jail, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Brent Daniels? Afternoon again, Brent. Date of birth?
12/10/99.
All right, Brent. So I got a grand theft and a burglary of a dwelling. There's probable cause for these two charges. You want the PD on these?
Yes, sir.
And then Maria, do you remember where we sent all Brent's cases last time?
That same thing, it was 720.
All 723. Okay. All right. So Brent, I'll appoint the public defender and leave the bonds per the schedule, which is $2,000 and $5,000 respectively. Send these both to July 23rd, where everything else is. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Eric Dyer. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
4/21/73.
Eric, you're here on one count of felon in possession of firearm. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. Going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD state.
Yes, Your Honor, and looks like he was in DOC in 2006 for a felon in possession of firearms. Several traffic offenses from 2005, including a DUI, driving on a suspended license. 2005, an aggravated assault that was reduced to an assault. In 2005, there was also an aggravated battery. Obstruction. And 1999, you had an FTA and a driving on a suspended license. 1998, violation of probation. Resisting officer without violence in 98. 97 DUI, went to prison in 95. Probation violation in 95. Discharge of a firearm in 1991.
Good. I think that's pretty good. Eric, I got an address for you on Cedarbrook Lane in Hernando Beach. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
About 2 months, sir.
Okay. And you have a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I'm painting right now, sir, out of Tampa.
Say that again?
I'm painting for a painter in Tampa.
Okay. We'll set your bond at $5,000. I'm going to have you back in court on July 23rd. Very important that you contact the public defender if you get out, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeremy Heastan? Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
July 31st, 1975.
All right, Jeremy, I have a warrant for you out of Ohio. Your options to this today are this. You're entitled, if you wish, to have a extradition hearing. The point of an extradition hearing would be to determine the validity of that warrant and to determine if you're the right Jeremy Heastan. Once we figure that out, if it turns out that the warrant is valid and you're the right guy, Ohio would have 15 days to come get you. While you wait for that hearing to happen, that process can take up to 60 days. You'd spend those 60 days in the Hernando County Jail waiting for us to accomplish your extradition hearing. If you wish, you can waive your right to that hearing today. If you waive your right to that hearing, then the folks in Ohio will be told today that they have 15 days to come and get you. If they haven't come and gotten you in the 15 days, they'll bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what's going on. So what I need to know from you this afternoon is, are you wanting an extradition hearing? Would you like to waive that right and put Ohio on the clock right now?
Put him on the clock.
There you go. I'm going to give you a form to sign. Very good, Jeremy. They'll be teletyped today, told they got 15 days to come get you. If you're still here at 15, they're going to bring you back to see me, all right?
All right.
Thank you. John Keller?
Hey, come back here, Stanley. Get up, it's back here, Stanley.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
Afternoon, Mr. Keller. What's your date of birth?
It's September 10th, 1963.
All right. John, I got possession of controlled substance and driving on a suspended license. It's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
PD, please.
I'll appoint the PD state. What can you tell me?
Your Honor, this is a multi-source, so starting in Florida, 2014, a violation of probation on a DUI, 2007, driving on a suspended license, 2007, another driving on a suspended license, 2006, violation of probation, 2005, driving on a suspended license, 2005, driving on a suspended license, DUI, 2003, worthless check, 2004, worthless check. 2004, driving on a suspended license. 2003, driving on a suspended license and a failure to appear on that charge. 2002, violation of injunction. 2002, another violation of injunction. 1997, retail theft. 96, violation of probation. 94, driving on a suspended license. And there's a few more back in the early 90s.
Anything from New Hampshire?
We've got things from New Hampshire. Most of them are from the 80s and the 90s. It looks like there is something from 2011 with no type of a disposition. The rest looks like 80s and 90s. There was something out of, it looks like Massachusetts for driving on a suspended license in 2019.
Okay.
And that, I think there's a Vermont case from 1989, and that's all.
All right. John, where have you been staying lately?
I just barely moved to a new apartment, sir. I was at 3394 Stephens over off of Toucan Trail. I just barely moved a week and a half ago over on Anza off of Redgate, which is off of Spring Hill Drive.
Okay.
I don't have the actual physical address.
Okay.
But I was explaining that because, like I said, I just haven't had time to do it.
All right.
They're moving all my stuff.
Okay. And, all right, you got a job here now?
I'm disabled, SSI retired.
Okay.
I have an income, yes.
Okay. I'm going to set your
I
bond.
am working on I'm sorry.
I'm going to set your bond at $500 on each count. Your total is $1,000. You're going to be back in court on July 23rd. Very important that you contact the public defender if you get out, all right?
Okay, can I ask you a quick question?
You sure can.
So what's the total? Because I already have a bondsman working on my case to get me out today.
The total's $1,000.
So he's only going to need 100?
Well, you have to talk to your bondsman about that. I'm not in the bondsman business.
I'm just saying, you did lower it, though. Thank you very much,
I did.
Your Honor.
You bet.
You have a great afternoon.
Thank you, sir. Christopher Malara. Afternoon, Christopher. What's your date of birth?
Good afternoon. July 19, 1992.
All right, Christopher, I have a warrant for you out of Pasco County. The judge that signed that warrant found probable cause for one count of discharged firearm in public and set your bond at $15,000. It's an out-of-county warrant, so I can't change that. If you can post the bond, you can go down to Newport Richie, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post it, I'll give Pasco 5 days to come pick you up. Never takes 5 with Pasco, but if for some strange reason you're still here in 5, they'll bring you back to see me, all right?
No problem.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lawrence Newsom. Afternoon, Lawrence. Date of birth?
2/15/80.
Lawrence, you're here on a warrant I signed because you failed to appear in my court on the 1st of May on a charge of driving on a suspended license.
I was in custody, Your Honor.
Okay, where were you in custody?
Pasco County.
Okay, how much time did you do for Pasco?
65 days.
All right. Melissa, is this something you can resolve today?
I did not bring that information with me, so I don't have
Okay,
what
do you have his history?
I do have his history.
Tell me his history.
Your Honor, he has from 2019, one of the reasons he was in Pasco was a failure to appear. 2018, a failure to appear. 2018, another failure to appear. 2017, 2 failures to appear. He was released from prison in 2012 when he went in 2010. He had a violation of probation on a paraphernalia and possession of a precursor drug. In 2007, violation of probation, failure to appear. 2006, grand theft. 2005, worthless check, violation of commune control. on another worthless check, it looks like. There was a felony. 2002, violation of probation. 99, violation of probation on burglary, grand theft. And that burglary, grand theft was from 1998.
Okay, that's good. Mr. Newsom, what'd you do the time in Pasco for?
For driving, sir?
Driving on suspended license?
Yes, sir.
As a misdemeanor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You got anything else pending in Pasco?
No, sir.
Anything else pending anywhere?
No, sir.
All right. If you want to resolve this today, I'm going to give you time served, but you don't have a driver's license, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so if you start getting more of these, eventually they can make it a felony. Certainly you'll be looking at more time on the next ones, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. You understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, right to have a lawyer represent you, but you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir.
Case number 19 CT 1253 as the charge that you drove knowing your license was suspended or revoked. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept that plea, find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 60 days, give you credit for 60 days served. If fine and court cost of $488, I will not order cost of incarceration because you did all the time out of county. That takes care of this case. If there's nothing else keeping you in jail, Larry, you'll be released today, all right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good luck. Stephen Smith. Afternoon, Stephen. What's your date of birth?
May 6, 1990.
Stephen, you're here on a charge of battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Front defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
I show no prior history.
Stephen, I have an address for you on Lincoln Drive in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
2 months.
All right. And that's where Miss Tomlin lives?
Yes.
Do you have a job these days?
Yes.
What do you do?
Tree chop tree service.
Okay. I'll set your bond at $100, but a condition of the bond is that while this case is pending, you'll have no contact with Bonnie Tomlin. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. You don't contact her through any social media. You don't go where she lives, you don't go where she works, you don't have any contact through a third party. Any way that you might imagine having contact, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if she wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear her voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see her, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that she cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she gets to make. She might go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. She may tell them she is uninterested in pursuing this matter. But that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case or your lawyer tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you today up until 4 p.m. so that if she wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only would you get your bond revoked here, but you'd get new charges for violating the injunction. As far as that address on LinkedIn is concerned, as long as Bonnie stays there, you'll have to stay someplace else until we get this case resolved. You can go by one time to pick up your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need, wherever you plan to stay. To accomplish that, however, you must contact the sheriff's office. They'll meet you there with a deputy who will stand by while you pick up your things and get going where you're going. I'll have you back in court on the 17th of July. Very important that you contact the public defender's office when you get out, all right?
Yes, sir.
Very good, thank you. And Kevin Ryopel. Morning, Kevin. Afternoon.
Morning.
Date of birth?
7/25/85.
Okay. So, Miss Underwood,
Yes, Your Honor.
this was confusing yesterday, and now it's more confusing. It appears to me, and and I'm not sure, but it appears to me that this charge, which is violation of a condition of pretrial release, was based upon the fact that he was here yesterday with a misdemeanor battery that violated the conditions of pretrial release from a May 4th arrest, except that the battery that was here yesterday is the May 4th arrest. It just got remanded. I also was led to believe yesterday that there's some other case that I don't see in the system yet. He had a possession of firearm yesterday, right? Firearm.
Never. Never, sir. I've never been in trouble in my life.
Well, hang
It's my
on.
first time.
Kevin, if it sounds like I'm saying things that are positive for you, you should stay quiet. So, at the jail, can you guys tell me, what do you show that Kevin has? I believe he's got a misdemeanor battery and a felon in possession, but is there something else?
I don't see any possessions. I have the domestic battery from 625 and then the remand off a battery on misdemeanor case 2019 MM21.
What was he here for yesterday?
I think it was the battery.
That was
Just
the
the battery.
original battery that was arrested as a felony, then remanded.
Okay.
What they have to be alleging, Judge, is that he violated the no contact on the case that they dismissed.
I think they're saying they violated the no contact by picking up the charge, which is the same charge.
If that's what is,
I'll tell you what. Well, all right, Jill, tell me this. Whatever he has, does it have a bond?
On the original domestic battery, there's 1,000, and then of course the remand is a no bond.
What did he get? I still don't know what's going on with this guy.
That makes sense. The remand would, the bond would carry over from the felony to the.
Well, no, they frequently don't, but because he was here, normally when they go to felony, I see them because you guys have them rearrested. I think on misdemeanors, you just give them a date and send them back down.
Correct. When they show up in court, we say we have dropped this, and here's the new case number, the misdemeanor case number, and you need to appear on this such and such day at such and such time in front of this judge.
On this one, they actually arrested him, Judge.
They did, because that's all he was. He was only arrested on the remand, right?
Yes.
Oh, mercy.
And
Do you have any history on him, Melissa?
Your Honor, I do have nothing out of Florida, but there is some history out of looks like Vermont from 2016. There was a disorderly conduct. In 2014, there was a DUI, which he violated his probation. 2012, another disorderly conduct and a resisting arrest without violence. There's also something out of, I think it's Massachusetts. Looks like that was a from 2003. That was a larceny over $250.
Oh, okay. Now it's in the system. So yesterday was another battery that wasn't the remand. That's what yesterday was. That's why this charge is here. Because he was on no contact from the May 4th case, which got remanded at the same time. So he should have two open misdemeanors. So, Jail, is that what you're telling me? He's got, with yesterday and the remand, he has two open misdemeanor batteries, right?
Yes, sir.
And now he's got this, which is the violation of condition of pretrial release based on having the battery, the second battery, while he was on bond on the first battery. We all agree.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
That's what it looks like. Now I got it.
Someone showed up yesterday after the first appearance came out and charged him with
This. With you. Okay. So I think we appointed a public defender yesterday, right, Kevin?
Yes.
I'm going to appoint the PD. I'm going to set a bond on this of $500 with that same condition that you don't call or write Cassandra from the jail. And did we send everything before to the 12th of July, Maria? I think so.
Thank you, Dave.
Because that's where I'm sending this. I think we left on the 12th. So all three of your cases now, Kevin, will be back in front of me on the 12th. And
Your Honor,
What's
No,
that?
yesterday you told me it was the 3rd yesterday.
Was
I
it
had
the
4
3rd?
on the 3rd for the first charge, yes.
That might be. Oh, because they told it, because that's what Aaron told us, that he was on the 3rd.
Yeah, they want them on the
3rd. Send it all to the 3rd, Kevin. All right, now you're still on no bond because I revoked on the oldest case. So you'll be back on the 3rd, and we'll see about getting it resolved, all right?
Alright.
Very good, thank you. Anything else, Joe?
That's all, thank you.
Super, thank you.